And this is a preview of a one-day event that Vinney and I have put together and that we're going to be offering for everybody for a really low cost. Vinney's going to share his expertise and knowledge on finding deals and analyzing deals, due diligence, making sure you're doing the right deals, talking to investors and actually raising capital. And I'm going to be talking about deal structures and the securities exemptions and making sure that you're following the rules and how you can legally create defensible relationships with investors so that you can market any deal to them. So we're going to give you guys like all of it in one day. And you're going to
Yes.
have exactly what you need to be able to go out and start launching your business.
Dear friends, this is Vinney Chopra. Thank you for liking the podcast and all the shows. Vinney and Quarter, we do that Abundance Mindset show, which goes live in all social channels on Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific, and also Vinney and Go show, which goes also on Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And thank you for really liking the books and all the content that my team puts out for you. Please enjoy this episode. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
So glad to come in here. How are you? It's so exciting to really put this together with you, Kim. You and I have known, and Linda stands, remember, three of us. And it's so exciting that we have kept relationship together, and it's going to be fantastic. I think we'll be giving knowledge. That's what it's all about. If we can motivate enough people to take that first step, I call it, then they would do much better. I know, just like you got me to take the first step 20 years, 16 years back, by the way, 16 years. Wow. When I did my first syndication with you, and it's going to be fantastic. You did 26 syndications for me, 26. So we'll talk about all. Oh, there. So it should be coming up here any moment. And
hi, everybody that's joining. We'll get started.
hey there. Yes. We've been just reminiscing a little bit as we get started. And we are at the two different corners, right? You are in St. Augustine right now, or?
Yes, St.
Yes.
Augustine, Florida.
I'm here near San Francisco. So two worlds apart.
That's the good thing about Zoom is it helps us all come together. Yeah, we now have, we're an international law firm now because we now have 2 staff members from other countries.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, we have Trisha, our business development director, is from Vancouver, Canada. And
yes.
we also have a paralegal in Italy.
Oh, I love it. Italy, that's where we are leaving for on Monday. We go to Italy for 2 weeks. Yeah. Anil, Monica, Kanchan and I, we just celebrating our 44th wedding anniversary. It was yesterday, but we're going to be enjoying and reminiscing. Yeah. So we'll be gone 2 weeks. I do want to say a very good thing what you just told me, Kim. Maybe we'll get started, is that the foreign money is coming into USA by having international attorneys, right, in Vancouver and Italy.
They're not attorneys, but our support
Okay.
staff. Yeah.
Okay, marvelous. Should we get started? What do you think?
Get started. All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you all for coming to Syndication Attorneys Free Monthly Podcast. We will also be posting this on our YouTube channel. Both our podcast and our YouTube channel are now called Raise Capital Legally. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get our numbers up.
Yep.
We love to have subscribers there, and we love to see your comments. So anyway, the whole point of these are to talk about topics of interest to real estate syndicators and fund managers with the opportunity for live questions and answers before we sign off. I am attorney Kim Lisa Taylor. Before we get started, please note that this event is recorded. It is going to be put on YouTube, and we are going to use it for future promotion, posted on our website or in a broadcast available to the public. You can ask questions at the end of the broadcast by raising your hand or typing it in the Q&A. I see we've already got a question. So we'll save that till the end. Information discussed during this free broadcast is of a general educational nature and should not be construed as legal advice. Today, our topic is learn how to syndicate real estate in one day. And this is a preview of a one-day event that Vinney and I have put together and that we're going to be offering for everybody for a really low cost. Vinny's going to share his expertise and knowledge on finding deals and analyzing deals, due diligence, making sure you're doing the right deals, talking to investors and actually raising capital. And I'm going to be talking about deal structures and the securities exemptions and making sure that you're following the rules and how you can legally create defensible relationships with investors so that you can market any deal to them. So we're going to give you guys like all of it in one day. And you're going to
Yes.
have exactly what you need to be able to go out and start launching your business. We're going to offer some other supporting materials during the day, of
Yes.
free bonuses. So if you
Mhm.
come, you'll get the free bonuses. And we just love to be able to help all of you go from where you are right now to where you want to go with your syndication practice. And Vinney is our best example of someone who has exemplified that over a period of time. So Vinney, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, Kim, such a pleasure to be on your show together. And on April 27th, we'll be together also on Saturday, 7 hours of action-packed material that you and I have prepared. And we would love to give it to lots of people to really get going, take that first step or second step or even 15th step. I really gave a lot of credibility to you because when I started 16 years back, with a duplex in Odessa, Texas, by the way. I still own the duplex. Can you believe it? And then we bought 14 units. Everybody watching us today, I've reached over $1 billion in portfolio with a B billion, but it started with 14 units at $180,000. And then now I hear it's worth 1.9 million. I sold
Wow.
it at 380. I think we sold it at 380 after 5 years or so. But no,
Wow.
I'm very excited to be with you. Yeah.
Yeah, Vinny and I have known each other since we both started in this industry. He was very first ever syndication client when he first started syndicating. And so we've grown along this journey together and it's been amazing. We've been amazing support for each other along the way. We just want to be able to share everything we've learned with all of you. So what do you think, Vinny? I know when you did those 26, you did 26 multifamily properties, and that was only over the space of about 8 years. Is
That's
that,
it.
yeah, 8 years.
Exactly. With
So
my old partner and myself, 26, we did it in maybe even less than that. I think that, yeah, about, yeah, 8 years or 7 years, you're right. Then I started Monil Investment Group Company in 2014, which really took off big time and all that. But you're right. I would say, Kim, you need a coach and you need
yeah.
fabulous attorneys to work with you. I give so much credit to you because syndication world, when you talk to people, they say, "Oh no, you're going to get sued. You're going to have this. You'll have trouble with investors." But I always have thought, if you hire the right professionals like Kim Lisa Taylor in
Mhm.
SEC attorney, everything will be fine, and you have made it fine. See,
What I think it sets us apart, and I'm not trying to make this a commercial about us because we
no,
do
no,
parts of
no.
education, but we're really invested in making sure that you understand what you're doing. We don't want to just throw you some legal documents and go, here you go. We want to make
Mhm.
sure that number one, you understand why we're giving you the documents you're giving and the purpose of each one,
Yeah,
but also making sure that those documents have the maximum flexibility that you will need along the way to make the right decisions for on behalf of your investors, not having to
mhm.
get their input on things that you should be able to decide on your own, but also the ability to reopen that offering and get new money in if something happens. The markets
Yeah.
change, you're at a point where you have to refi, just like a lot of people are right now, but their
No,
property values are
sure.
depressed, the loan to
Hmm.
value ratios have decreased. So now all of a sudden, if you want to get that refi loan, you have to bring in more money. And so we've created documents that allow our clients to be able to do that without having to go get permission from your investors or without having to penalize your investors that don't want to put in more. So you can go get the money from other people that are willing to invest, or maybe certain investors want to put in more money than they would
Sure.
have to. We constantly evolve our documents based on the real experiences of our clients. So somebody comes to us and says, how do we transfer this? How do we do that? And we look at the process that we have in our docs. And if it's too cumbersome, we streamline it, we make it better. So the next time it's better for everyone. And so that's, I think, been a big help. I know we've used some of those provisions along the way for you that have allowed you to do what you
Yes.
need to do on properties, and we're certainly seeking to.
Totally. I know you saved me. There haven't been that many downfalls, but one property, in effect, I can remember where the investors wanted to really say, hey, we don't agree with this or that, all that. You were so kind to really give and tell me my legal rights. And you know how the syndicators in the operating agreement, we say that the LLC is going to protect the general partner and the legal fees are paid by them and all and other stuff. The biggest thing I would like to say to everybody watching us is the, multifamily as last 3 years have changed a lot. And it's really good to get more knowledgeable and also find out how deals can really work sense with seller financing, with special situations, with I'm really getting into senior assisted living, as I was
Mhm,
telling you, Kim. And
mhm.
not only that, in multifamily, I've been building like 94 units, but then Monica and I decided we're going to go into RALs, residential assisted livings also,
Mhm.
because it's one single family home, but
Yeah,
it's got 10 rooms. So
right.
10 rooms are like 10 units. So
That's right.
it's a multi-family, and each room brings $5,000 rent.
Mm.
What? 10 people, we just went to Arizona and we toured 9 properties there. But the key thing is one single family home will produce 50,000 revenue rent, which is just like a
Well, and
multifamily.
you will
Anyway,
have some operations costs, right?
yes,
You're
yes,
gonna have to have people preparing meals and
totally,
coming in, and
totally.
you've got a little more maintenance costs and operation costs in there, but
Yes,
it's
yes,
totally offset by the cost that people are paying. But it's a better experience for those seniors also, because they aren't in
yes.
an institution where they feel like they're in a hospital bed just in a warehouse. They're in an
That's
actual
true.
home, and maybe the home has a nice view or a beautiful lawn or amenities and niceties that they would want in their own home. And they have some camaraderie, so they're not isolated in just a room by themselves. They've got common area where they can go and socialize and play cards and see each other and
Totally,
dine together, all
totally.
these things.
A-
So
And
yeah.
and it's such a it's a silver tsunami. I know it's the session is not on that. I want to thank you publicly because
Oh, thank you.
Kim also helped me to write 2 chapters in my book, Senior Living Investing Made Easy, which is on Amazon. We have launched it, and then we'll be giving free copies, digital copy and audio copy on May the April 27th also. At the end of the day, we'll be giving lots of bonuses, underwriting tools, lots of good stuff to our people who join us. Yes.
Great. Let's talk a little bit more about you and why we should all pay attention. Often tell my mastermind group. So we have a weekly clients only mastermind that we run, always
Yes.
run by one of our attorneys. And a lot of times I'll say, we all need to think a little bit more like Vinny. What would Vinny do, right? Because my story that I tell about Vinny is you came to the US with what, $20 in your
Seven
pocket,
dollars. Seven
$7 in
dollars.
your
Seven
pocket,
dollars.
and you have this immigrant spirit that is, I am coming to the United States, which is the land of
Mm,
opportunity, and I'm going to take advantage of those opportunities. And you forge ahead. And I've seen this not just in you, but in a lot of other immigrants that come here
yes.
with that firm belief that this is, I can do anything I need to here. Whereas the rest of us that are born here, we're all a little bit hesitant. Oh, we heard that we could get sued, or we heard that we could get in trouble, or we heard that this or that. And so we let all those limiting beliefs hold us back, where a lot of immigrants, they don't have those limiting beliefs and they just forge ahead. They make multimillionaires of themselves. And the rest of us are sitting on the sidelines, holding ourselves artificially back because we don't have the barriers either. We just think we do. And so I always try to impart, think a little bit more like Vinny, because Vinny
Ah,
say, let's
you're
just
so
do it. Let's
you're
just.
so kind. You're so kind. Again, I'm not the person I am today overnight. I want to say that I did read a lot of books with Dale Carnegie and Wayne Dyer and Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins and all those people, like many of us. The biggest thing is if we are a little bit more positive, if we have the mind of abundance and live it's hard to live the life of no fear. I say no fear, but you got to really say what will go wrong in any situation. And I try to research a lot, but then I say, okay, who has done it right? Let me hold hand with that person. That's how I grew to where I am today. And now I coach and all that. But the key thing is, please get a coach, get a great attorney. Milton Colgrove, I'd like to shout out for
Yeah,
him.
that's
He's been
fantastic.
with me 16
Yes,
years, and you have
yes.
been with me 16 years. So, SEC attorney and real estate attorneys are two most important attorneys. Litigation attorney, too. I got sued four or
Well,
five.
you don't need the litigation
Yeah,
attorney,
you don't
but
need them. Yes.
unfortunately, we live in a world where if you do need a litigation attorney, you need to find the biggest and
Yeah.
baddest one out there because they're the ones that are likely to get you out of the situational
Totally, totally.
outcome.
And I was so thankful because I got, without paying much money at all, maybe 10,000 in one and whatever, 5,000 another one. It just saved because it's good to know what's behind the door, and to have good partners, it's very important. The biggest
Talk
thing
about
again,
do you remember what it was like when you very first ever started talking to investors, and were you nervous about that? How did you get past that?
quite a bit actually. I still can picture I just couldn't sleep when I was going to see the first investor for 50,000. I remember 45 minutes away. Somebody recommended me to go see him, and I was sitting in the living room, and I just took my old clunky Dell laptop, almost so old, and I had four slides on it, Kim. It said multifamily and single family comparison. I had put tenant trash, this, that. And then I said you could take away that and do only 120 units or 50 units. That was one slide. The other thing was like how leverage the investors, if they put only 50,000 and I get a loan, they will not be on the loan. That's how I did it in my thinking. And
Mhm.
that way, their 50,000 is actually controlling four times that
Yeah,
investment, the asset. A lot of us forget to say that. And then
that's a
tax
really good point.
benefits,
Yeah, that's
isn't
a
it?
really good
Yeah.
point.
Oh,
Because
thank you.
if you're putting up 25% of the money from the investors, but you're getting a loan for 75%,
Yes.
they're in
Yes.
control of an asset that's appreciating at 100% of its value with only
Totally.
25% of the money invested.
Totally. And then the paying down with the rents, with the
Mhm.
residents, and how the cost segregations will help. So those things come to my mind. Four slides only. At the end of 20 minutes, he said, Vinny, do you have a deal? I said, no. He says, are you going to move to Texas? I said, no. Do you have a loan? I said, no. He says, you are so honest. I appreciate that. I'll write you a check for $50,000.
Wow.
He gave me commitment in 35 minutes or so. Can I
Wow.
say that? That investor actually raised, and I kept in touch with him through due diligence and everything. As I was raising money, he increased it to 125,000. And ever since, he's been in my deals and put in my maybe over 5 million. But then he invited his friends over for coffee at Starbucks. I remember I got $29 million money from his network.
Wow.
Amazing. Amazing.
So this is
Amazing.
a $150,000 investment. 4
150,000.
slides can become $29 million. Wow, that's an amazing story. Now, but I heard something key in here that I want to point out to everybody. What did
Yes.
Vinny do? Vinny educated. He
Yeah.
educated the investor. That's all you have to do. You don't have to sell
That's all.
anything. You don't
Mm-mm.
have to sell. You just
No.
teach. And so if you get it in your head that you're not asking for something, you're not selling, you're not pitching, you're just
Mm-mm.
teaching. You're teaching them how this process works and how it could be an opportunity for them. And then they
Totally.
invite themselves.
Yes.
So that,
Yes.
and then if they like what you're doing and you're honest and you're transparent and you communicate, they bring their
Then
friends and they bring
they
more. Right.
oh, totally. What you said is the golden rule. It's educating them about IRAs and self-directed, how to take the Wall Street money into Main Street, I call it, and then also teaching them how the cost segregation works. tax benefits. It's very big on their mind. The other part, of course, is who is managing? How are you managing it? Show them the cap rates. Teach them more about cash on
Yeah, and
cash.
you do this
Show,
over time. You don't try to, yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to impart during our masterminds and to all of our clients. It's here's a little pitch deck that shows you how to explain what syndication is and does.
yes,
15 slides. That's it. You can explain this in 15 minutes. You don't have a
totally.
deal, you don't have anything. This is what I'm doing. This is how it works. This is how you can benefit, and then let them elect to be in it themselves. It's really as simple as all of that.
Totally. And if I may say that, we can make small things into big elephants. And it's all in the mindset. It's all in the mindset. So if you think that you are really going to get into multifamily or storage units or whatever, right? All
Assisted
those
living,
things,
yes.
assisted living, huge, by the way, 11,200 people are turning 65 every night now for next
Wow.
4 years. I just
Wow.
did a lot of research. I taught last night in my mastermind inner circle, 1.5 hour I taught, and we recorded it too, by the way. If anybody wants to get a recording, please let Kim know. I will give it, send it to you, the link. And we talked about how next 30 years, it's going to be amazing opportunities in senior living. It's going from 54 million, 55 million to almost 94 million in the next 30, 40 years. So it's a huge, where the baby boomers will flow, that's where the money is going to flow. It has happened over and over again. So we'll be changing our whole lifestyle of not in the workforce. They will be workforce with the millennials, which is what we have been going
But
after. Huh?
you're
Yes.
also creating a place for yourself and for your loved ones, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of us have aging parents, so that we're going to have to think about how are we going to be able to help them? And if we can create an
Yes.
environment now where they can go, that because, we're in control, or owners in this project, it's not going to cost them maybe as much as everybody else, because you get
Yes.
some of your benefits to help offset their costs.
Totally.
These are things we all, it's inevitable. We're all going to need some care at some point, and we need to think about what that's going to look like for us and for our loved ones. But back to syndication. So, how many deals did it take before you felt you really understood syndication?
I would say maybe 3 or 4, and you were
Mhm.
amazing. You said, Vinny, read the documents. I thought that was echoing in my mind. I said, you know what? I do want to read operating agreement. I do want to read the PPM, which is the risks and everything, rewards, so that when investors are asking, I even remember you said, Vinny, take your first few investors through it. Let's do a
Mhm.
Zoom. I did a Zoom, and then we went over page by page, because going over that helped me to understand even better. And then it was easy for us. So I would say 2, 3 deals, but one can learn. It's very simple. That's why I wrote that book, The Apartment Syndication Made Easy.
Yeah.
I just broke it into 5 plates like a juggler, and
Mhm.
keeping it simple helped me a lot. Then hiring you as my SEC attorney was the best thing. And Milton also, whatever Milton says, I sign, because he's has got my best interest at heart.
That's right.
And in
He
your
knows what
case,
should be in your purchase agreement and what pitfalls should
totally,
be there.
totally,
He knows how to help you through the loan documents and making sure that you
totally.
understand what you're agreeing to. And loan documents are the same. Different lenders have different provisions, and there may be
Yes,
something in there that you wouldn't be aware of, or you wouldn't realize you're signing away this or that right, unless your
right.
attorney is helping you. Hey, Vinny, did you know that's in there? Are you willing to agree to that? And maybe you push back if you're not, or you find a
So
different
true.
lender. Yeah.
So true, so true. Even my loan brokers too. I remember I've had only 4 loan brokers in my whole lifetime, 16 years. The key thing I like about them is they then understand your story. They know what you have been, and they do all the legwork in the background. And then they say, we need these are the 2, 3 options. So
Mhm.
as a CEO, it's much better to just find what the solutions are and then decide on different terms and things
Explain
like
this,
that.
yeah, why is this better than the other? And that's where your
Totally,
mortgage broker can help.
totally,
And they will listen
totally,
to what you're looking for and they'll know, don't go to that lender, go to this.
exactly,
They know who
totally,
to.
totally.
So what we've talked about, and when certainly we're going to cover this more during our one day
Big
event,
time,
you know,
yes,
who has to be on your team? And you've got your partners at the management level, so you can divvy up all the jobs that the asset
yep,
manager of a syndicate has to do. You've got to raise capital, you've got to oversee
mhm,
property managers, you have to find properties, talk to brokers, put in offers, conduct due diligence, you have
mhm,
to
mhm.
coordinate and guarantee loans. You have to keep in contact with your investors both before, during,
Yeah,
after. You've got to raise capital. You've got to assemble your loan guarantor team. Plus, now you have to work with your mortgage brokers to find the loans, your real estate attorney to help you understand the loan documents, the purchase agreement, create the vendors agreements, all of those things, and then get through the title in case there's any title
yeah,
issues. You've got to have them for that. And then you have us who are going to set up your corporate structure and make sure that your management team has the rights that it needs, but also making sure that the right people are in control of even the management, because
yes,
you're bringing people into management that are doing a more minimal role. Maybe they're not helping to guarantee the loan, or maybe they're not going to be bringing in investors, but they're helping analyze deals, or they're going to go out on the ground and conduct due diligence. They're doing a role that deserves some management earnings, but maybe not some of the management authority to make the decisions. So we can help
sure,
with those structures. We're also going to help you set up your syndicates, both from a control standpoint. So the management team does stay in control, but the management team also gets adequately compensated and not wait until the end of the deal till you sell it. Because if you wait to sell the property before you get
yeah,
compensated, you've misaligned your interests with investors. And
yes.
and also we're going to make sure that there's the best tax advantages for everybody in the deal, the investors and the management team.
And the managers,
Yeah,
totally.
structure.
This is so amazing. I love it. I loved what you just went through. Again, I think lots of beginners might get overwhelmed. So I always say that let's eat elephant piece by piece. So, like, first talking, getting the team and LLC formed, Wyoming or Delaware, whatever. Then the big thing is now let's start looking at deals and learn to underwrite quickly so that you can be good at it. Now, when you find a good deal, LOI, and then getting the SEC involved, attorney, so that they can also, after your due diligence, like 10 days, usually in 10 days due diligence, you could tell whether you want to go ahead or not. And that's how
Yeah.
I feel. And once we have done better, good underwriting with assumptions, with conservative assumptions, then I have always, by the way, my record is perfect. I have bought 40 deals, Kim, and everything from LOI to closing. So 100%. So, in other words, I never lost a deal in the last 16 years. Once I made up my mind, I just that kind of person. I give hard money or this or that. I say, I want to get landed in. Anyway, that's something mindset. And in 10th day, I say that no matter what happens, if we have a repair balance, repair account for that. But SCC, I like that 5 p.m. ready on the
Yes.
10th day.
Yeah. And
Get
here's what
started on it. Yeah.
we say. We say we have statistics to show that people who do three things before they hire us are 85% likely to close. And
Yeah.
that is, they have a signed purchase agreement on the property, someone from the
Yes.
team has physically been to the site, and you reviewed the financials. And
Yes.
after you've done those three things, added back everything in that the seller might not have had in there that you're going to have as an expense, then, in making the assumptions, like you said, then you're
Yeah.
able to know, is this a go or no go project? Anything else
Yeah.
you might find during your property
Hmm.
inspection or your lease audit, those can become deal negotiation points.
Sure.
And
Sure.
not necessarily deal killers, but any of those three things I said, you go to the site and you're like, we don't want this property. It's in a really bad area of town.
Hmm.
Or when we add back in all the costs that the seller didn't have, it
Hmm.
doesn't work for us anymore. Or you just never get to a purchase and sale agreement because you can't agree on
Yes.
terms, or somebody else comes in with a better offer after you and they take that
Yeah.
off. So those
Totally.
those things can kill your deals. So get past the deal killers, get your attorneys working on the docs.
Yes.
You complete your due diligence and the legal docs at the same time, gives you the maximum time to raise the money.
I love that. I love that. And again, I do want to stress quite a bit that getting a deal, I know a lot of people say, I want to get a deal. No, you got to spin two plates. One is getting investors also and
Yes.
talking to them and building relationship and educating them like we just talked today through PowerPoint and all. The key thing is they should be flowing money in. You can even share some examples, some case studies of what you are looking, why you are looking in that particular submarket or wherever, how many units you might be looking at. That's what, again, I teach in my academy also. But the big thing is you got to be spinning two plates, getting the deals, underwriting the deals, and having the investors ready to invest money.
And that was exactly the topic of our mastermind yesterday was what have you done
Yeah.
recently to both find
Yes.
deals and find investors? And maybe it's not
Yes.
even your own deals. Maybe you're early on and you're just starting out. You should be looking for people you can partner with who have more experience with you that
Yes.
come in on their
Totally.
deals, leverage
Yeah.
off their experience, get that management experience. Now it becomes your experience. Now you can start going on and doing your own deals after you partner with others for a little bit. And when you partner with people, you don't have to think of finding a partner for life. This isn't a marriage, right? This is a partner
Yeah.
for the next deal. We're just dating.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
We're dating and maybe in a long-term relationship, but just on this one deal. And it doesn't have to be exclusive with just that
Yes.
person for that deal. So think about
Totally.
partners on a deal specific basis, not on a lifetime. We're going to be
Yes.
forever because
Very good point.
you
Very
don't
good
know
point. Yeah.
until you actually work with someone how well the partnership is going to work. And you've got to make sure that you've got those right skill sets covered. Somebody's good at
Yes.
thing that the other person isn't good at, and together
Mhm.
it's enough. Let's see, what about things we've seen that happen when people try to syndicate on their own without either getting coaching or guidance? Easy to make $100,000 mistakes with other people's money. Uh,
Totally.
Very easy
Oh,
to do that, or with your own money.
money.
Spend
Exactly.
spend
Yes.
too much money on the deal and you get too far into the due diligence before you decide you're not going to go forward and you don't get that money back. Or you wait for investors who say they're getting their money and they never come. There's so many mistakes that can cost you a lot of money and it can cost your reputation because if you have to give money back, you need to be able to give it back without deduction. So it's your money at risk until you get
Yes.
to the closing table. So you've got to make sure that you can cover that you're not getting too far ahead of yourself. I know when my husband and I were syndicating properties, was you get so excited that you have an accepted LOI, you want to jump on a plane, right? And you wouldn't have looked at the financials, or you wouldn't have done maybe had a PSA in place, or you wouldn't have done the right level of stuff. And you're already
Mhm.
hiring inspectors and you're having people go out there, and then you realize, oh, we're not going to go forward. At the end of the year, you've spent $100,000 on deals that didn't happen, but you could have
Yes.
contained that to 10 or 15 and been a lot better off if you just what to do before and what to do after you get to a certain point in the deal. And so that's the kind of thing that you and I both have experience with.
I totally agree with you. And I would love to say that I tell everybody that red flags, which are small red flags, they become bigger red flags as we get deeper and deeper into due diligence. And the green flags, which are big, they get smaller. So you got to really do lots of good due diligence, financial due diligence, researching. The internet has got everything on it now. We could do even the overall looking at the property, the different maintenance and all those things, even with the pictures. The crime reports are very important. There's so much we could do about the neighborhood. And you could even have, I always tell the listing broker, hey, I bet when you put your OM together, you got a Dropbox filled with pictures. You put only few pictures in the OM. Could you give me link? Because he wants to sell that property. Could you give me link to those 150 pictures?
Oh, that's an interesting thing. So you would never know to ask that. I would never have known to ask that.
No, I've been
Right?
asking it.
Yeah.
Actually, I bought a deal in Atlanta. My broker, he was there 45 minutes after my call. He says, Vinny, I'm at the property. I'm taking pictures.
Nice. Okay, so that's a broker
You
that
know?
for you.
Yeah, and it's real pictures because, oh, you could even hire on Craigslist some photographers and they charge you $100 and they spend 1 hour just going around the picture and you could put them in touch with the broker. See, you don't even have to take a flight. So I always try to see who I know nearby wherever I'm buying. If I don't have boots on the ground, find other people to do it. The key thing is you want to know financially, underwriting very solidly, and also the due diligence, physical due diligence, the how the parking lots look, how the all these the boilers and everything, and the roof and all that. So small hacks really save you a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you think? What do you see as common things that hold people back from achieving their real estate investing goals?
I would say non-committed. I think that people look on social media or they go to RIA meetings, they get excited for a little bit time. They say, yeah, someday I'm going to get into it. But you got to be passionate. If you are going to move that from W-2 job, I left my W-2 job in 2015. I started my business in 2007. I got trained in 2006. So you got to actually slow paddle and learn, and then you can't do overnight. A lot of coaches say you could leave your job within 6 months. I don't think that at all possible at all. You got to take that step, baby steps with 14 units like I did, or 50 units or 70. I know 70 is optimum. You can have a property manager and a maintenance person that the property pays for and all that. When great opportunities are coming right now, with the properties have gone down in value about 20-25%. They might be another 6-7%. I read and hear might go down, but then interest rates, as soon as they cut, like in maybe October or November, Fed was going to do it in June, but they are not doing it, as we saw the fall in the stock market. Today's stock market is up. But the thing is, once that happens, the 0.2, 0.25, 0.25, and it's an election year too, I think it's going to go right back up 2025, 26.
Well,
So this is
I
a great
remember
opportunity. Uh-huh.
I remember you specifically buying some properties in 2010,
8,
11,
9. Yeah.
after the property values dropped and we were in the recession. And I remember
Yes.
you a few years later saying, oh my gosh, we just sold this property for 3 times or 2 times more than what we paid for it. And so
Yes.
the people that poise themselves now by creating an investor database of pre-vetted and ready, willing, and able investors, and the people that are making those relationships with those brokers are going to be
Yes.
in a position to be able to take advantages of those opportunities, and they're going to do
Totally.
it very well. We think that this is unique and that we're in a unique time, but started doing security
Yeah. It's
was
a cycle.
I started it in 2008. And
Yes.
our business grew during that time. And what we saw were the people that got in trouble or people, and it's exactly the same scenario right now. They all forgot or they weren't in the business then. They over leveraged their properties. Okay, so they
Yes.
couldn't withstand a drop in the value, and they have
Mhm.
short-term maturity dates on their loans. So they got bridge
Yes.
loans with
Yes.
2 to 3 year maturity dates. So now they're caught 2 to 3 years into a
Mhm.
deal with a depressed property value, so that they can't refinance out of that property because the new lender is looking at it going, your value is decreased and we're going to give
Yeah.
you a lower loan to value. Or if you want us to finance this loan, you got to bring in another million or $2 million.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so that's where we're seeing people getting caught up right now, is that they need to go out and recapitalize their deals. They need to raise new money. And what I'm telling investors, and maybe some of you disagree with me, but I'm telling investors in these deals, if you're asked to contribute to a capital call right now, you should do it. And here's why. Because if you're being asked to contribute another 10 or 15% of your original investment in order to
Mhm.
get a deal through a refinance so that it can ride up the next wave, you should be
Yeah.
taking advantage of that, because the
So
alternative
true.
is you get nothing. The alternative is
Exactly.
the refinance doesn't happen, the property goes back to the bank, you lose your entire investment. So
Yeah.
would you invest another 10 or 15% more, or even 20% more to preserve the $100,000 you already got in a deal? Or would you just let the $100,000 go? You've got to make that decision. And it's often not a fault of the operator that this is happening. So if your operator's been communicating with you all along, telling you what's happening, COVID happened,
Right.
eviction moratoriums, the supply prices increased, labor shortages
Mhm.
occurred, all these things that we all know happened that aren't their fault.
Yes.
And then interest rates
So
increased,
true.
property values dropped. Those are all the things that are legitimate reasons that you might want to invest a little bit more just to keep the property going, let it get through this hump, get a refinance loan. Real estate values go up. They go up, they go down,
Totally.
they go up higher.
Yep.
They go out
Yep.
down, they go up higher. We've got a
Hmm.
report that shows for 100 years that's what real estate values have done. You
So
know,
true. So true. No, you're right on the money, Kim. It's so true. So true. I know the distributions have dried up in our case too, right?
mhm,
Investors, because you got to keep that money on the
that's right.
sideline to do the rate locks or
That's right.
insurance or whatever needs there be. I know Texas and Florida got hit badly with insurance rate
Oh
hikes.
gosh,
A lot
yes.
of people, nobody could have the crystal ball, that it's going to happen that way. Interest rates 21 times increasing interest rates by the Fed last year and the year before. That was this year. They said, okay, now it's April 5th, I think. So key thing is hopefully they'll do those cuts again this year, which will get us back. But it was the biggest bull also. And the bull doesn't last. It was huge from 2008 to almost 2019 or 20, let's say 2021. The bull was big, but cycle is there, like you said. So let's believe in that because I've been through it. You have been through it. Lots of
Yes,
people have been through it. Yes.
that's right. All right, let's talk about our goals for our event on
Yes.
April
Yes.
27th. So any of you listening to this, I think you can see this is not going to be a boring lawyer event. It's going to be pretty lively. Vinny's
Yep.
like to think I'm a lively speaker.
You are. You are.
Anyway, so we're gonna share our knowledge collectively, and really, we've both got our areas of expertise. But what do you want? What do you want people to walk away with after this one-day investment? What are your reasons for doing it, Vinny?
I would say definitely to move people who are on the edge to really say that I want to be in commercial real estate because if you're able to raise money, which is syndication is, by the way, syndication is pooling the money together legally and to buy whatever products, right? It could be franchise business, it could be real estate, it could be storage units or any kind of things, or even manufacturing plant companies. I've been hearing golf courses. I just bought a marina in Wisconsin.
Oh,
The key
nice.
thing, yeah, marina, and we are looking at a golf course just coming back on the market. We are looking at it today. So it's going to be down the street 15 miles only. So we'll cover the whole lake and so on. Anyway, but the thing is, idea is if on April 27th, we could get you to the next level just to say that I have money, a lot of you have money, but how can we get other people to benefit? See, the servant attitude is huge. How can you educate the investors? And we'll provide you some tools at the end of 27th, almost $3,000 worth of tools for free. We're going to give it to you. And underwriting, my underwriting, there are lots of underwriting tools in this country, in USA. I like the simplest ones. And mine is very simple. I'm going to give it away also, like I mentioned. And I buy 50, $60 million deals because I underwrite in that template and it does the projections for 5 year 10 years. It does all the different things you need for the investor brochure, all those things. But the key thing is, my thinking is to talk and get people to look at creative financing and look at brokers who will be bringing deals to you and where to look for those deals, those kind of things. So I want to people to feel good that syndication is not bad. They need to really go. I wouldn't be here where I am today. if I didn't take that first step.
And that's so true. And my goals for this are to give you the confidence. You understand the corporate structure and you understand your legal
Yes.
obligations under securities laws sufficiently that you're confident you're doing it correctly. You're not
Yeah.
worried about, oh, can I talk to this person? Can I offer them an investment opportunity? You know it, you know how to explain it, and you know that you're doing it correctly. So you have the confidence to go out and start talking to investors and educating them. And
Yes.
also giving you the tools so that you can go out and educate your investors on how the process works so they can make the
Yes.
election to invest with you. And I think you said something in the beginning that you said it took you about 3 deals before you really understood syndication. We have seen that over and over again with clients. The first time it's overwhelming. There's a whole lot of
Yeah.
stuff going on. You don't really get it. If you've been in our pre-syndication program, then you're in much better position to be able to get it. Or if you have a coach that's teaching you,
Yes.
you're in a much better position to not have that confusion in the beginning, but still it's a lot. We're generating 150 or more pages of legal documents that you've got to review. You're seeing them for the first time. But now the second deal, it's, oh yeah, I read this before. Now I know what
Yeah.
I'm looking for. Now I know what questions to ask. By the third time, you've explained it to enough people that now you're the educator, you're the teacher, you get it, and you're
Yeah.
doing it correctly. I think that's, I just want to educate. I want to make sure you guys know that you can do this. It does seem hard, but it's like,
It's not.
it's like you said, by
I'm
eating
going to
an
say
elephant.
that.
Well, that
Positivity, go. And Kim has got 2 books there. Please,
yeah. So
we would love for you to really get to that next step. That's what the goal is.
yeah,
On April 27th, 7 hours, we'll give you action-packed, answer your questions, give you as much as we can, all the hacks, what we have done, blunders, and how you could really improve. And that's the key thing. I think it's taking that first step. I always say, or if you're already done 2, 3 steps and you are into 5th syndication, you could ask us questions and we can give you more answers how to really grow your businesses and all. Yes.
that's right. Okay, we do have some questions, so we want to get to.
Please. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
And also, hey, Bill, are you still on the call with us? If you
Oh,
wouldn't
let's see.
mind, if you
Chat. I just looked at chat on the side. So Ellen Pollock, right there, host, came a long time. Ellen is saying, thank you, Ellen. Emily Bo, love this. Thank you. And then we got Soaring Properties panelists. Thank you for invite Vinny right there. Josh, he
Yeah, I
says
see
host and
Bill,
panelist.
I'm going to invite you. I'm going to promote you for here for a minute. So Bill is
Okay.
working with,
Yes.
he's Vinny's guy, and he's working with us on marketing
Uh,
this event. And Bill, can you help us tell everybody how they can go about getting their discount for watching this podcast and then signing
please.
for our
Yeah.
program? I put Bill on the spot here. He didn't know he was.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Thank you, Bill.
So how would people go about, we've got a preview discount for them. How can they go about getting that discount?
Good question. I believe Cassia set that up.
There is a $200
let me look. I know it's in my
off.
email.
Yeah, it's here is. I was gonna
Okay.
just as you're finding it, it's a go ahead, Kim. Yeah.
In the meantime, let's talk to Alan. And Alan's had his hand raised from the beginning. Alan, so nice to hear
Yes.
from you again.
Thank you.
Go ahead and let's see, where do we go? Q&A. We've got some Q&A here. Raised his hand. Let's go to the attendees. And then we've got some other questions going on. Here you are, Alan. Hey, Alan.
Hi, Ellen.
Nice to see you. Are you there? You're
All right.
There you are.
What's your question, Ellen? Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't have a question. Kim and I go back many years.
Yes.
Of course.
Since SDCIA.
Oh, yes, and CIM, and
Yes.
also the second book, 6 Steps to Real Estate Success. You got your copy.
Mhm.
And, just wanted to say I really appreciate what you're putting out there, and I plan on participating on the 27th. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Excellent.
you, Ellen.
Great. We love to
Appreciate
have
that. Love to have you. Yes.
Yeah. And then
Please.
We also have a low cost, I keep talking about our masterminds. We have a low cost opportunity for people to get into one of our pre-syndication agreements so that you can get access to our masterminds weekly with one of
Mhm.
our attorneys. And then also we give you some benefits like an investor marketing plan template, an investor relations blueprint, a pitch deck template for talking to investors before you have deals, and some things like that. We do have those things available. Feel free to reach out to us. Go to our website, syndicationattorneys.com, schedule an appointment if you want to talk to one of our staff about it. And then we actually are going to have a little show special on pricing on that. So
I love it, love it, love
that'll
it,
help
Kim.
as well.
I do want to say, as you are talking, I do teach, by the way, I coach Inner Circle Mastermind every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Every Wednesday, 4 p.m. PST actually, and up to 5:30, 1.5 hours. I've been doing it for 7 years, and we record these mastermind sessions, and you could just join for free for a few times. VinnyZoom.com, VinnyZoom.com, VINEYS Zoom.com. If anybody wants to come this next week, but Dave Mulvaney from Jacksonville, who is my director of academy, he'll be doing the sessions. So when I'm on travel or he's on travel, but then we are doing lots of good things and we underwrite deals, we talk about things, and we talk about lots of things over there for 1.5 hours every week. Just a little
Wow,
thing. Yeah.
that's great. Okay. And then let me see, I've got a link to our event is being held on Eventbrite.
Oh,
And
yes.
I want to see if I can put that into the chat for everyone. Let's see here, chat. Oh, jeez, it's not going. For some reason, it's not letting me grab that link. Yeah, so Bill, I don't know if you found anything about that preview link yet. I thought I had it before I started the call, so I apologize, you guys, for not having it. All right, this link that I just put in the chat is for going to our Eventbrite page so that you can sign up for our event.
Ah,
Okay,
beautiful.
so
Yes.
please go there. We
Yes,
will,
hello.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, Alan, thanks a lot for coming, and we look forward
Thank you,
to
Ellen.
you on
Yeah.
the 27th. So the event is going to go for, we've got 7 hours worth of content.
Seminars.
We'll
Yep.
keep it going. We're going to do a lot of Q&A at the end of each segment. So you're going
Yep.
to, it's hard to get to Vinney and it's hard to get to me because we've got a lot going on, but we will see you that day and give you ample opportunity to ask all your questions. So
Yes.
definitely want you to.
Really looking forward to it. And we hope that lots of people will join, and please share this message to your teams of people and everybody so that they could get into syndication, into multifamily and all kind of things, how to raise money and how to do legally. That's the key. That's the key. Huh?
Yeah.
Brother Bill? Yeah.
Yeah, so if you see that link that I just posted in,
Yes.
actually,
Yes.
you won't be able to see it.
Post it to,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Oh, yeah,
posted.
right there. Right there.
but can you,
Eventbrite link? Yeah.
Yeah, let me.
I'll post it
hold
to
on.
here, I've got it. I'll post it to everyone.
Okay.
There it goes. Okay, everyone has it now. So use the
And,
second link that Bill posted or
and then you're gonna have to change this one too. So when you get there, there's an early bird coupon that's applied. That won't get you the best discount. So remove that, and then add
Okay.
in the coupon called Preview, Preview, and then apply that, and then it'll get you the best price.
perfect. And
Beautiful,
it's gonna
beautiful.
be
And we are giving
$97.
$200 off, I think,
That's
right?
right.
If I
Yeah,
can say that. It's only
yeah.
$97, guys. We just spend that money on a lunch or dinner with the family. It's worth it, worth it. And we'll give you so much more at the end of everybody who stays through 7 hours of really learning, then we'll give you the free gifts also. Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Bill. I appreciate you
Yep.
finding
Yes.
that for us.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah,
Thank you,
always good.
brother.
All right, we've got a couple more questions.
Yes.
Emily asks, Vinny, have you ever thought about doing senior living development, creating a community of 55 plus independent living, assisted living, and memory care?
Guess what? I've been developing actually for the last 5 years, 4 years, 5 years, let's say, in Punta Gorda. I built it for 12 million, sold it for 17 million, 5 million gain. and it was only 45% occupied. I could have kept it longer. I gave 42% returns back to my investors. So I've been building these over 7 acres of land, 1 story, 3 courtyards with all these. There is a movie also. If you go on my YouTube, just say senior assisted living, I have a whole channel list of all my recordings on senior living. But I'm very excited about Arizona right now, into Utah. I'm looking into RALs also, which I did a 1.5 hour session last night. If anybody needs that one, I'll be coaching quite a bit because there's so much money. A lot of people are making 10,000 a month on one house, on just one residential assisted living. So no, I'm into that. My book also, where Kim wrote 2 chapters. I appreciated her so much. Senior Living Investing Made Easy. Please get it from Amazon. Audio is there and the paperback is there and everything. And
Right.
thanks, Kim. Really appreciate
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Vinney. All right. So somebody asks, great information. Will the recording be available for us to review later? We will be posting this as soon as we can on our YouTube
Yes.
channel and on our podcast. We'll give Vinney a copy of the recording also.
Yes.
He can
Then I'll
he can
send it
post
out.
as well.
Yes.
Yes, just give us a couple days to get that edited and get it up.
We
and
will be
going.
recording April 27th, but we'll be only giving to those who attend,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
that you could go back and look at lots of things. It's going to be action-packed, 7 hours, literally. We promise you, we are putting a lot of things together, so it's going to be great.
And then again, someone asked, what happens if the capital calls keep coming due to market conditions? How do you determine if the fund is managed well? What really should be happening is that your operator, who are the sponsor of the deal that is running it now, should be
Yeah.
giving you a new property package that explains
Yes.
here, just like when you invested in the first place, they should be explaining, here's where we're at right now. Here's what we still need to do. Here's where we are with the loan right now, how much time we have on this loan, what kind of loans are available to us. They should be giving you a property information package that tells you just as if you were making a new investment, because you really
Yes.
are making a new investment. You're adding to your original investment, and you need to see where that money is being spent, how long it's going to get a return, and making sure that you agree with how it's being spent, you agree with what happened and why it's needed, and that you do feel like you're not just putting good money after bad. How do you tell if you're putting good money after bad? If your operator is not communicating with you. Okay.
Yeah.
If they're not telling you what's going on, that's a problem. And
Mhm.
those would be the ones that I would be very concerned about giving more money to. But if they've been communicating with you all along and telling you what's happening, and they come out and they explain to you exactly what they're going to do with that money, I think that those are the ones that have really thought it through, and they're not going to
Yeah.
keep coming back for call after call, because they're going to have thought out, this is exactly what we need to do to get this project to the finish line. Here's how much longer we plan to own it. Here's what we think we're going to be able to do with the project, just like they did from the beginning before all these other things happened that they couldn't predict.
Sure. Totally. No, thank you so much. That's so true. So true. And communication is the big thing, and making sure that the investor's money is protected. That's what general partners always mission is, to make sure that we do. But things happen on the way. Crystal ball, nobody knew what will be happening after COVID. It just threw a big curve. So no, thank
That's
you. It's almost towards the end. I just saw
I
him.
know. Well,
It
Vinney,
was
it's
such
always
a pleasure.
sad
Such
to
a
say goodbye because we have such a good time talking. And Bill, thank you so much for participating. We appreciate
thank you. And
it.
we look forward to really see. Please go ahead and register. We
Yeah.
are excited to present to you a lot of information. Huh? Yeah.
And do sign up right away.
Yes.
We want to do this program. We want you all to be there. We want to help as many of you as we can. And we look forward to seeing everybody on the call. Okay. Bye,
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
you
Thank
too.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.